lot of you would just want to just listen. The notes isn't that important because I've done it properly previously anyway. You can draw a line on a grid using coordinates, right? That would be the mainstream way of dealing with lines. But you need to realize lines go on forever. So if a line goes on forever and I'm trying to draw a line using a table, what's that table going to do? It's gone forever. Do I have page space to draw a table that goes on forever? What a waste of time, okay? So instead, what we try to do is use algebra. We form an equation that tells you that relationship along all points of the line, so I don't need to draw a picture. I don't need to do a table. I just chuck some maths at you, and that's going to give me the equation. So the first equation type that you should be aware of is slope-intercept form. It looks like this. Slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus c. Y is the value of the y coordinate. X is the value of the x coordinate. M is the slope of the line. And c is the y-intercept where it touches the y-axis. So get that box, please. And then I'll demonstrate how the table relates to that equation. I got my timetable for semester 2 early. I won't be taking the 10 extension maths class. So some people might like that, some people might not. If you like my style of teaching, I'll give you all the resources I would have used anyway. So the
Wait, we're getting a different teacher.
for 10 extension, I'm not taking it because I've got they probably decided on the long service leave would be too disruptive. Okay, I'm not in control over that, but I'll help you out as much as I can.
So your video is still going to be Emma?
I don't know what the teacher's going to use, but I'll give you a timeline, and then there's a link for my explanation of everything. Okay? I'm getting another mainstream class. I'm going to do some year 6 maths.
Wow, fun.
Let me put that on the record. That's on the record here. That's what I do. We're doing measurement in there. All right. So why is this equation useful instead of the table? Because I can work out what the slope is. What is the x variable doing? It's going up by what? 1. So the x step is 1. What's the y variable doing? Plus 2. So 2 over 1 is 2. I know the slope now of this line. What is the y-intercept? What is the starting value of y? 1. So the y-intercept of this line would be 1. So now that I know the slope and the y-intercept, the equation in this line is going to be 2x plus 1. Why is that useful? Because on this table, do I know what y is when x is 50? Do I know? Where does it go up to? X is 4 is the last thing that I can do. Would I even have page space to write x is 50 in the table? No. But now, because I've got the equation, y is equal to 2 lots of 50 plus 1. 2 lots of 50 is 100 plus 1, 101. So now I know that if this table extended to 50, y would be 101. Could I put any x in there? Could I put x as a bajillion and would I know what y is? This is more efficient than this. Okay? That's the purpose of the equation. Okay? Now, I went over in previous lessons the general form of a line. This one's quicker because it's ax plus by is equal to c. A, b, and c don't mean anything in this form. They just have to be whole numbers. So can you get that down? You'll notice we're not up to maths yet. We're just defining things. The maths comes here where I just show you how to go between forms. So can you get general form, please? The videos on that timeline I'll give you for extension aren't as though when I was less confident, but they get you what you need. Okay? People last year used the same. And if you got questions for me, I'll help you out until the start of time. But my partner asked if I'm going on long service leave, I'm on freaking long service. So no school while I'm, does that make sense? No. When I'm gone, it's gone. I don't know who's replacing.
Is it gonna be like a,
Why would you think that's right?
Huh?
is it gonna be like a methods teacher?
That would be ideal, because if they're methods, they're gonna, if it was a normal teacher, they're not gonna be able to handle how fast your class is. They'll be like stuck and they'll be like, what material can I teach you? If it's a methods teacher, I'll just try to teach you 11 or 12. They do what I was intending to do. Does that make sense? When I hand over to this person, I'll go, this is what. You've never had a class this fast? I'm not just saying that. I'll give you all the tests. Just look at them, okay? So I'll prepare them as much as I can, but you might be chilling out a lot if it's not a methods teacher. Put it that way. That articulate might get hammering if it's not a methods teacher. Okay? All right, let me show you how to convert between slope intercept and general form. There's a couple of questions in your upcoming test that ask you to convert the forms from general to slope. Number one step, make sure it's actually in general form. Ax plus by is equal to c. Step two, not writing anything. You just have to remember in your mind, slope intercept form looks like this. Y is equal to mx plus c. So y is by itself on the left-hand side. So basically, you're interpreting that slope intercept looks a certain way. So convert my general form into that way by removing the x term from the left-hand side. And then you remove the coefficient of y by dividing everything by b. Just get that down and I'll demo it. Now I'll do the second lesson, which is like 3 lines. Then I'll leave you alone for like 40 minutes or something. Regardless who it is, all the teachers are nicer than me, okay? They'll be more chill. I'm an intense guy until after the lesson. And maybe nice with Mr. Eagle. I love it. It's Mr. Eagle. Have you seen the tall one with the curly hair? Who's that? If you can do it, that is
really good.
Some of his year 12s found an old video when he was a guide on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. I was roasting. Just being like over enthusiastic about the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Sam the Bridge Guy. Let's demo these steps. I want that general form to look like this. Y is equal to mx plus c. What's my first problem? I have x and y both on the left-hand side. How do I get rid of positive 2x? Opposite of positive 2x. Negative 2x, so it's going to be 3y is equal to negative 2x, add 6. What's my next problem? Y is just y. Right now, you got 3y. How do I get rid of 3 times by y? Divide everything by 3. So divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. That's going to cancel. So it's going to be y is equal to negative 2/3 x plus, what is 6 over 3? 2. Can you get that example down, please? You converted from general to slope intercept form. And then I'll do the second lesson. I'll leave you alone for 40 minutes. If I knew beforehand that your class would be your class, I wouldn't have taken the long service. Yeah, but we need to apply for long service leave well before. Yeah? I didn't know we had band. I didn't know I'd be enjoying the tech. If I got the other class, I'd probably take an extra long service leave. Just retire and just leave. I'm done. You guys make it so easy. Please take that as a compliment, okay? Anyone still getting that? I'll give you a couple of minutes. I'll stop the recording so we can just like.
Communication